We're still talking friendship and money, and it's another exciting episode. And you sure bet that I have another guest on my pod seat. Now, like I've said before, that the relationship between money and friendship, it's a continuous conversation, with different layers, and how we handle money matters in friendship is very, very important. And that is why today I decided to drag the cat out of the bag. I have someone who's my friend, who's my colleague. He calls himself the man of the people, but I call him the man of the women. So I'll allow him do the honors of introducing himself. Over to you.
Thank you. First, I'm not a cat.
You're a cat. I said he's a cat, and that's on period.
First, I'm not a cat, and I'm not out of the bag. But I go by the name Kalada Bartubo, and it's a pleasure being here.
Welcome to the Triple F podcast. Yay! Man of the people.
Yeah.
Welcome.
And I'm not man of the women. Disclaimer.
Two things. He's a cat and he's man of the women.
All right. Okay.
If it's you say so.
If you say
and
so.
that's on period. So
your
let's
opinion.
talk friendship and money, Kalada. First things first. On a scale of 1 to 10, how credit worthy are you as a friend?
You mean when I take money, do I pay back?
Yes, when you take money from friends, how often do you pay back? Do you keep to your promise of, okay, 2 weeks, month end, this, that?
Yeah, sometimes, mentally you want to pay back, but, reality-wise, things may not go your way. So, it's a difficult thing for me to say, but yeah. In recent times, I've tried my best to be credit worthy. I've tried my best to ensure that I pay back monies that I owe.
But before now, do you used to struggle with it? I mean, was that a struggle for you?
Because of financial capabilities and all. So it wasn't because some people have the what they call it now, the attitude of having the money and not paying, right? Some people have that attitude where they would rather use the money and go and
Do something else.
party or do something else instead of paying the bill. To collect, they say it's easy, but to pay back is difficult. But for some others, the reality is different, where they want to pay. They don't even like the pressure that comes with owing someone. As a matter of fact, they don't even want to owe someone.
It's something they have to brood over before saying, okay, let me go to this person and ask for the money.
So sometimes the reality, is not in their favor economic-wise, and so they find it difficult to pay back. So it's not because they do not want to. Back in the day, it's not because I did not want to. It's just because I did not have the capacity at the time to pay back. Sometimes you're planning, okay, if I do this, the money will come in, and then you'll pay back, and then you do it, and the money does not come in.
And then something else comes up that
the money does not even come in. Come in sometimes, so you're now stranded, and because of the human nature, someone will think, oh, you don't want to pay back the money. So that's why I said before, being credit worthy was, I eventually would pay back, but
it would take some time.
Yeah, it takes some time, to get it done. And then sometimes, life just happens and your friend forgets the money, and everybody, is looking each other with one eye, but, life happens. So that's what it is.
So does that mean that, financial responsibility or lack of it in a friend changes how you see them or relate with them? How important is financial responsibility to you in your friendships?
I'm happy I've been able to tell a part of my story, because it also has given me the ability to not sit on one side of the
fence.
I don't want to use fence. I don't want to sit on a high horse.
Okay.
And say, oh, okay, I gave this person money and this person did not pay back. Now, something happened this year. Someone reached out to me out of the blue, not necessarily a friend, said he wanted a specific amount of money. My spirit was like, I'm not certain this person will pay back, but you know what? I gave the money nonetheless. Let's just see how it works. And then the person didn't pay back, and it was money I needed for upkeep, right? However, I somehow mentally zoned the money out. Like I didn't want to think about it. And many months down the line this year, I realized the person was very sick.
Whoa.
So that's why I said sometimes the reality and what we think are two different things, right? We may think the person doesn't want to pay back.
But did you reach out
I
when
did
the
I
person
did not.
defaulted on the day they were supposed to pay?
I did. I think I did, if I
Okay.
remember correctly. And the person was like, I'll get back to you," and I did not reach out again after that.
Well, then don't you also think that, take for example, if I'm to take money from you and I'm meant to pay, say, by next week, before that day, if I'm very sure that I won't be able to pay, don't you think the onus is on me to inform you ahead of time?
So
Knowing fully well that you have certain expectations concerning that date.
I do agree to an extent, right? But human beings are different. For instance, due to my experience, I don't think I like to owe people. But then it's something that happens. The economy has suffered inflation, and the inflation keeps, getting worse every now and then. And plans change, and, you would need help once in a while, right? It's not a comfortable place to be in. But when you are in that place, you have so many mental battles you're fighting. You're thinking, oh man, I promised this person I want to be a man of my word. How do
Yeah.
I get it done? And then the deadline is coming, and you're thinking, you're cracking your head, you're racking your brain, that you're saying, oh, how do I get this done? And before you know, the time has passed. And then for some people know how to handle these things. Some people have the silver tongue where they go and they razzle the person that they are owing money. Oh boy, no vex. Know where I go make them. I know where I go make them up to you. Some people know how to do. Some people, beat themselves up because they were not able to meet the deadline. They talk themselves down. They're like, so it's different situation for different people. And while I understand that there are people who like to take advantage of the kindness of others, there are people who
Genuinely.
want to pay. They can't pay due to reality, and they don't even know how to handle that situation emotionally, because for them, it makes them feel less of themselves. I mean, first of all, they didn't have the money. Someone gave them the money, and now they can't pay back. So
And now
it,
they're thinking of, how do I make this person understand that I really can't pay back?
so
Not
yeah.
like I'm taking advantage of their
Yeah,
kindness.
yeah. So it's an emotional. Some people zone out. Some people hide. Some people, so different reactions for, and you see that's why it takes some level of understanding to, if you know a person very well, then okay, this is why the person may have done what the person has done. For me, given the fact that people have forgiven me financially, I don't, when I have the opportunity to give, I don't necessarily put pressure. If I want the money and I ask, one, two times and I'm not getting it, I let it go no matter how much the money is.
So is there like a limit to how many times you forgive a friend who is financially irresponsible? Or for every time, they don't keep to their word, as a friend, you ought to extend that olive branch?
Okay, so for me,
Or
right?
at what point do you say, I've had enough?
So
I'm not going to lend you money anymore.
I'm going to still use my experiences, to answer that question. So at the time when I wasn't financially capable to pay back, I would give other kinds of services, right?
Okay, okay.
So maybe a friend needs me emotionally, I'm there because I feel there's the
You're,
pricking conscience, right? I
you're
feel like
indebted to
I'm
them.
indebted to this person. Oh, the
Yeah.
person wants me to do. Sometimes people say, oh, why are you doing such a lowly task for such a person? And I'm doing it because, in a way, I'm giving the person some level of satisfaction. The person would know, or the person would feel, or if the person is wise enough and not wicked, because
Observant.
some
Yeah.
people want to take the pound of flesh and all. But if the person is not that one person who wants to take the pound of flesh, the person would understand, okay, this person feels in that, and may even come to you and say, oh boy, no worry about that stuff, I understand you're under pressure and all. So if a person takes a loan from you, and the person is not showing any kind of remorse, yet again, different characters, different responses, right? But
Yeah.
you will still know when someone genuinely, is trying to give back or pay back. There's some people in my past, I'm looking way back, and I wouldn't say I borrowed money from them, right? Situations happen that, for instance, one time I was going to change a dollar bill at, the abokis then, they were very popular. and then police stopped me and collected the money. How was I going to explain to the person?
Wait, real life story.
Real life story.
Why did they collect the money?
I can't remember what offense I committed at the time, but you know how it is in Nigeria now. And then they collected I think it was $15,000 was
Then.
15,000 then. That was far back. I couldn't afford 15,000. I mean, big money. And the person kept. There's nothing this person did not drag me that period.
Wait, the money wasn't yours?
It wasn't mine. I was going
You
to
were
change.
asked to go
Yes,
Oh.
I was going to change for somebody. Or was it that the person even asked me to hold it? I can't remember, but I got
to help
stuck.
keep it or something.
And the police
you were
collect.
caught up
Oh,
in
goodness
police.
me. Till today, I've not paid that money.
Okay. So what did that strain the friendship? Was that the
It was.
end of the friendship?
It wasn't really a friendship, but the people felt like I didn't want to pay. And
People
even
who did not understand what
even
has
till
happened.
today, I saw him recently in the office. Guys, I found my
Wait,
$100.
this was how many years ago?
Something happened this year. Yes, I had to collect the person's number and tell I'll give you. But the point is, if the person is not showing any kind of remorse, then I don't think the person is entitled to your help anymore.
Okay.
But
Okay.
there's a thin line still. You see, the story I just told you, it wasn't necessarily. It wasn't like I borrowed money. I don't like to borrow money. The monies that I couldn't
But then
pay.
there are circumstances that will
The
make
monies that I
friendship-
couldn't pay in the past where, there's someone who helped me pay my first rent. And one thing led to another. I've not been able to still pay that person that money. But I've been able to pay back in
other ways.
other ways.
Okay.
The person wants to buy something, I chip in money here, I chip in money there. I don't know if you get the point.
Yeah, and
So-
this
so
person is no longer asking you for that money.
the person may have even forgotten.
Yes, because they see that you are exchanging some sort of value.
But what happens is the person understood that I was putting in effort to keep the friendship. But when someone, because people tell you money spoils relationship. When you give someone money in trust and the person doesn't repay in any way, right? Then the person doesn't value you.
So basically, what you're saying is, even if you're owing somebody, there are a million other ways you can repay the person if you don't have the physical cash to give back.
Yeah, of course.
And one of the ways is to be there for them, give them moral support, maybe business advice,
You could give
give
them
them a referral if they have businesses.
Exactly. So, in that way, that's if the person is understanding, by the way, because you can still give someone referral
And they still like,
I'll
where's
fi-
my money?
I'll
I'll
find
find
my
my
money.
money.
Exactly.
But then you won't blame them.
No, of course, like I said, everybody's different. But in such situations, you still, if your friend, your person is still demanding, then you want to pay up, you want to ensure that you give the person the money. But what I'm trying to say is, if for instance, you give me something in trust, and I'm not able to give it back to you, and I'm not in any way showing repentance, it will be ill-advised to ask you to still give me money tomorrow when I'm in need. Except it's money you can do away with. Now I'm haunted by the years where I couldn't pay back the monies given to me. That in recent times, like I said, when I give people money, I don't want if they can't pay, I don't want to take back. Or when I take money from people, I don't sleep at night until I pay up the money.
Gives you sleepless nights.
I can't sleep at night. Once I remember the person, I don't fear to go WhatsApp.
So like this now, I should borrow your money. Is that what you're saying? Because I would like you to have sleepless nights for my sake.
All right. I think the podcast is over.
It can't be over. It can't be over. Far from that.
Okay.
Now, do you still borrow money with all of the experience you've had as an adult? Do you still borrow your friends' money, or whenever they reach out to you, you support with what you have?
So, you see, sometimes it's good to watch how these so-called wealthy people in society relate with each other. Now, the big boys loan money amongst themselves, right? And we don't get to hear the story. I mean,
No.
the one time we heard the story was between Otedola and what's the UBA guy, Elumelu, where Otedola was
Sonny.
he was calling out Elumelu. He said, this guy is a bad guy, right? The guy roamed me street. But the truth is, I think there's something that we have failed to take cognizance of, and that's the fact that we should begin to have friends who have the financial muscle, in the sense that if I'm doing well and my friend isn't, and he is asking or she's asking for help financially, and I give, even if it's a loan, I'm giving with the intent to help raise a friend,
Okay.
right? I'm giving with the intent to help raise a friend. So even if my friend is not able to pay back, it's more like an investment where when my friend gets to the point where I believe, because in friendship, we should grow each other, right?
True. True
When
that.
my friend gets to the point where I would also one day, maybe not in my lifetime, maybe in my children's lifetime, right? Being need his help, and then he pays back in one way or the other. Now there is no way I will see those people who helped me before need, because it's like an investment, they see they sold in my life, right?
Yeah.
And when they eventually would need my help, and I'm able, because I'm getting there, then I would be able to help them. So we these days we make friends, for fun purposes, emotional purposes, but I think it should be more than that, right? Yes, genuine friends, but we should get to the point where friendship is more about, you know growing each other, iron sharpening iron, where, like I've said, look at the friends around. Who comes to mind now? Let's see. Who comes to mind? Let's use the entertainment sector, the Davidos and the likes. Look at the people they roll with. They roll with people that can, I need this small $500, or I need these $500,000.
And then
They,
they rally
and they can
around
rally around.
around
And
and
but I mean, you listening now, if I ask you, how many people can give you 3 million naira?
because that's the next question I was going to ask you. Now, you've spoken about how, keep sowing into that friendship. The motive why you're giving that person the money should be of utmost importance to you. Yes, keep sowing. You might necessarily not reap where you've sown, but you will definitely reap it, or your children will reap it. Now, I've seen, these short reels videos where a guy walks up to you randomly and is like, who on your contact list can you call to give you 1 million naira if you tell them you have an emergency? And it's always funny how the other person at the other side, half the time you hear them saying, oh, I cannot give you 1 million naira, but I can give you 500K, or I can give you this, I can give you that. And I mean, that's really sweet to hear from people. It also shows that you, who is calling to ask for this help, you're a people's person, or you are credit worthy of some sort. Because if you are the type that doesn't show up for people, I mean, from the response, you can already tell. They'll tell you outright, no, you will know they pay back money or something. So if among your friends, if you are down, if all the ships are down, you've hit rock bottom. Do you think you have friends in your circle, just like you use the Davidos as example, who can rally round financially, to bring you back to your feet? Have you
Okay.
been able to build those kind of friendships?
No, no, I haven't. So it's gonna be a controversial one. A lot of people think I'm an outgoing person because when I'm outside, I smile, I laugh, I joke around. I'm talkative, very loquacious a person. But I'm an introverted person.
Okay, you're only an
So
extroverted person on the radio.
yeah. So
Okay.
half the time I'm locked up somewhere.
Where is this somewhere? Cave,
It,
house,
it could be
hut?
it could be anywhere, but I'm not moving, except money calls me out. Money is like my best friend, right? So it's the only call that I would want to take. My point is, I'm not a, I'm an introverted, very
So
chronically.
you don't have friends? Is that what you're trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is, I used to be very close to people,
Okay.
but in recent times, I've lived in seclusion. So I may
So
not
you
be the,
love your own company.
yeah, I do.
Okay.
So even when I'm down and out, I'm all by myself. You people don't know.
Okay, but is that a good way to live? I mean, you've been close to people, right? What made you come to the point where when you decided, you know what, I'm going to be by myself,
So
whether I'm going through hell or high waters?
I started by saying I don't like to be a burden to people.
Nobody does.
I started by saying that, and then experience showed that for every one time that I asked for help and I promised to pay back, I may have overestimated my capabilities. So I try not to even ask for help anymore. I try not to overestimate my, because it looks like, life just decides to, I go show you. If you say you go pay back, I be no, I go let you
So
know.
you're saying every single time this has had to happen
Yeah,
back
yeah,
to back?
yeah.
So there was no one time you had said, if I'm going to give you back this money by 10th of this month, and you actually brought the money before the
No, no.
day?
I mean, that was in recent time,
Oh,
right?
okay, okay.
But I'm saying back then, right? And you see, it would have been some extreme emergency. I had to put extreme emergency now before I will come and ask you if, hey, I beg, give me this. And when I say extreme emergency, it doesn't have to be me, because if it's me, no, all am I? We could die there, me and the storm. But maybe someone in my corner, maybe my family member, or
Okay.
someone asked me for, or there's a business deal and I want to put money in it, and I need money for it. So usually not about myself. I would not say because I want to eat, I'll go get money or borrow money from someone. No,
Okay.
I don't think I'd rather starve.
It has to be a worthy reason.
Exactly. So the point I'm trying to make is, I live in seclusion and I keep my problems to myself. So I may not be the right person to answer that question, but it's good for people who are, into the whole friend thingy, to have people. And I mentioned it not so long ago. Have friends, strategic friendship, right? Friends that are there for them. And you see, there's something I watched a while ago. You can't have everything in one friend.
True.
That's the mistake we make.
True.
We should have friends that
For
are
different purposes.
there for us emotionally, and then, I mean, they should have a bit of everything. But then, that this guy, if I won't cry, that this
You
person I
know
go
who
cry
to call.
to.
Yeah.
And while the others may be laughing, he's going to be like the emotional foundation that holds you. Now, if you want someone who's going to be there for you financially, this is the person, right?
If you need a
Strategic.
business advice, if you need someone who's going to tell you the cold truth about something you've done,
So
just
everybody, even your romantic partner, cannot be everything. They tell you your romantic partner is your bestie. Anyways,
that's another
let's not go
conversation,
into
please.
that.
Let's not
go-
digress.
But the point I'm trying to make is that your friend, it's give and take. It's you giving to enrich the person's life, and the person giving to enrich your life. So you want to have friends strategically, not just because the person is fine, the person has got muscles, the person knows how to speak English or something. It should be deeper. It should be, I'm working life with this person. Just like we choose partners, we should choose friends like that.
We should be very intentional about
Yeah,
our
and I,
friends.
I think that's one of the reasons why Nigeria is decaying. Now, for those who grew up in River State or in Port Harcourt back in the days, we had a communal style of living where, your parents could leave, especially for those who stayed in the DOB line,
Access.
Ogunabali axis, right? Your parents could leave because we had neighbors who would,
There was that neighborly love,
watch
yeah.
you, like, so that communal feel, where you could, December period during the Christmas festivity, we would be exchanging pots. This one will cook fried rice, this one will cook rice and stew, and it wasn't as competitive as it is now, and it allowed for a rich pattern of life here in River State or in Port Harcourt. But now everybody's, I don't know, but I'm trying to prove the point that we need people who can give just as we give. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kalada. By the side, is this how you always talk? Is
How
this
do you
how
mean?
your voice is?
What do you mean by that?
This deep baritone, you're trying to use to seduce our listeners and our viewers.
No, I'm not seducing anybody. For someone who rarely goes out, this is the persona. This is me
This is
in my locked up
In your words.
cave.
Show us the different version, the other version.
There's no other
The one that
version.
we don't get to see often.
This is it. This is the persona.
Okay, talk to me the way you talk to me off this mic. Use that voice.
What voices are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. This is my voice.
Kalada.
This is Kalada.
You know I know you.
I don't get what you're trying to
But
say.
you know I know you.
But seriously, I don't know what you're trying to say.
Okay, so random.
So if you're asking me to flow in pidgin, it's of
I'm
course.
not asking you to speak pidgin.
So
I'm saying
this
talk
is
to me with the same voice.
Someone listening out there will think you and I have something that we do in the other room.
We
But
have, oh, it's not in the other room, but we have. Kalada is always dragging height with me. Please, people of God,
we came to
look
talk
at
about
us.
friendship
No,
and money. Let's stay on
we're
friendship.
not staying. No, we're digressing. Look at the both of us. Who is taller?
We're seated.
I'm not wearing heels.
We're seated. How can they
We
tell?
are. It doesn't mean. Please, who is taller? Let us know in the comment section.
Oh, goodness me.
Before you go, would you say you have, you've noticed a love language that you always like to express in your friendships? Because I believe that when it comes to love languages, it's not just for romantically involved relationship.
Of course.
So, what love language do you see yourself expressing to your friends? Often time than not.
So, I go with the principle, right, that I can't find every package in one friend. Mm-hmm. So I relate with every friend. I remember someone one time in the office told me, "Why is it that you talk to everybody camp?" Because at that time there used to be cliques everywhere, and I was everywhere because
You were for everybody.
I was for everybody. I was for nobody. I was for everybody. Like Buhari would say at the time. And the reason was because I could relate with everybody at their own level.
Okay.
No matter how high the level was, even if it was way higher than I could relate with you, as long as you opened up to me and you opened the doors for me, I would relate with you, and I would know where the limits were, and what to do and what not to do.
Okay.
So for each person, I will learn your love language, and maybe that's what exhausted my
got
ability
you tired.
my ability to be out there. So I when I'm outside, I know how to, and it's not pretense, by the way. It's the different sides of me relating with the different sides of people, because many a times we do not know that we've got different sides to us. We just feel like something happens and you be like, let me do this thing.
There are layers to every human.
And then you're relating with someone, and then the person is bringing out a side of you that you never
Knew
some
existed.
some people could make you more pessimistic a person, or angrier a person, or more
Happier.
a happy person, happier. So it happens that way, where people bring out different sides of you. So I relate with people based on, so for instance, in the office.
Take me for instance, please.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We work in the same
So
space.
the way I relate with you is not the way I relate with Ekpo or Sunday.
Okay.
So there are several factors, right? I could probably be more lackadaisical in my friendship with Ekpo because we go deep, right? But then with you, we still go deep, and I could, I need you to do something, and I'm out there already. I don't know if you get so different, because I may feel Ekpo will understand, and I will feel that you would not understand.
Because
It will
there's
cause
a bro
quarrel.
code.
It will cause quarrel.
Did you say Kore?
I'm just saying. I'm trying to
We're
explain.
going to edit that part out. Continue. I'm listening.
But you get the point.
Continue.
I've ended, but you get the point.
I get that.
But you get the point. So what I'm trying to say is different people. So if I am friends with someone who's got a temper, and I'm friends with someone who's very energetic, or another person that is who's very energetic. My language.
Your
my-
love language to the energetic
not
person.
just love language now, my general friendship language, right, with the person who's got a temper and the person who's got
It's
too much
super hyper.
energy
Yeah.
will be different.
Definitely.
Now I have a problem with the person who's got too much energy,
Because
and
you
I have
can't
a-
keep up.
and I have a problem with the person who's got a temper. But guess what, it's still not going to be the same love language or friendship language with both of them.
Okay.
So in friendship, we need to know how to manage these things. So we need to also understand boundaries.
All right.
Because when you understand boundaries, friendship,
helps.
friendship gets better and sweeter.
All right. Man of the people, man of the women. Thank you
I
so
hope-
much. Thank you.
I hope
Thank you.
I was able to make wisdom.
Thank you for coming on the Triple F podcast. Thank you for sharing your experience of how you're navigating money and friendship, especially adulthood. Subscribe, like, and share this video as always. I will see you on the next one. Bye.